Goblin. Are you ready to yap?
Hey Goobs, it's Goblin. Today we have someone who creates the most fantastical worlds in every book she writes. Her newest release had me up until 5 a.m. because I could not put it down. She's truly one of the nicest people I've met on this app, and she lives really close to me, so I get to see her all the time. This is JA Townsend.
Oh, it's so sweet.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks. Me too.
Yay. Okay, I would love for us to get started if you could share with us your author journey.
Oh my gosh. So mine isn't like the stereotypical author journey where I knew like all along I wanted to do this. Unfortunately, it took me having my last baby and having the most insane case of like postpartum depression and anxiety. I couldn't read because I like needed to know like what was like the stress of not knowing like freaked me out. So it was actually my husband was like, why don't you just try like writing? Like just write a story you would want to hear. So I ended up writing one chapter just on my phone, like on my notes app. And I let him read it and he was like, hey, so this is really good. And I was like, you're biased. It's like, whatever. I could have written like 2 sentences and you would have been like, this is great. But no, seriously, the next day he took me to Best Buy and like bought me my MacBook and was like, you're gonna write, like right now, like write the whole thing. So the first story I wrote was The Valkyrie Covenant, and it was kind of loosely inspired on our honeymoon. We honeymooned in Scandinavia. Cool. So I was hearing all of these really cool stories and just like being immersed in that world. Like we went through like Stockholm and Oslo, and like it was just like, oh, I loved it so much. And so it really inspired like most of the story. And then I was gonna try and go trad. I queried like twice and was like, yeah, this moves too slow for me. I want it done now. So I ended up self-publishing. And then a couple of months later, I ended up writing the second book, and I spit them out like way too fast. Like they were here and then they were out. And then I started like journaling my like authorship on TikTok.
Okay.
And like it got a bunch of people who were like, hey, like we know this like cover artist, or hey, we know this person. And I was like, yeah, I'm not that serious about it, but thanks. And so I made my own cover, and like I kind of never expected anyone to like really legitimately read it. Like I had no idea what I still don't know what I'm doing. And then it got like such a nice like welcome that I was like, all right, like maybe I can do this. And so then I started writing the book that I have that just came out. And then I've got a few other like little surprises, but now I've got somewhat of like a system in place, and I definitely have an editor now because, oh my gosh, I apologize to everyone who read it before Laura got her hands on it, and the people who left beautiful reviews. I'm like, how did you read that? Like, oh my gosh. Like I'll still like, people are like, oh, I have like the original copy. I love it so much. And I'm like, how? How? I'm so sorry. So yeah, that was, it was literally like mental illness, and then I wrote, so.
That's so cool. I mean, not the mental illness part.
Yeah, the mental illness part. It's not Maybelline, it's mental illness.
Oh my god, that's the tagline for the episode. Oh my gosh. So do you feel like writing helped you get through your postpartum depression?
It was the best. So that and Baby Zoloft, shout out to my OB.
Yeah.
Like seriously, so when I had my first son, my anxiety was like just off the charts, like insane. Like I don't know how I was like functioning daily. And then when we had our last baby, he's the youngest of 5. And so I like had like a whole world like going on. Like I could not fall off the tracks. Like people were counting on me. And I knew, I was like, I'm going to have anxiety again. Like it's going to be so bad. But literally like I breastfed. He would be breastfeeding and I'd be typing just because I was like stressed and I like had to get it out. But like, or like we contact nap. So he's like literally on my chest and I'm just like, okay, I have to write to feel better. Like this is the only thing that's helping. So yeah, it was, I don't want to say it was a lifesaver because I wasn't like, I know women who struggle that bad, but it was like, it definitely kept like my head on my shoulders. It kept me like in the game, and I didn't feel like I like slipped at all as like a mom or like a wife. Like it was very healing just all around for everybody. So it was awesome.
That's so cool. I love that. So, with your travels being a big part of the inspiration for your book, is that something that has carried through all of the stories you've written?
Ironically, yes. So I wrote In Violent Waves. I took not like a mom's trip because I went with just like a big group of women, but we went to Italy. Okay. So we did Milan, Rome, and Florence. And I like found myself like walking through like all these castles and along like all these different places and like the Pantheon. And so I definitely feel like all of those places kind of found like little Easter eggs in my story. Like I remember seeing a sculpture and it just like being breathtaking. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna write about that. Like, and then it finding its way in like In Violent Waves, whether it was like in Atlantis or like a mention of it when she was in the wilds. But I do feel like that has strongly helped my world building, just being like outside of where we live and getting to explore other
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So I feel like that definitely, and then like my husband, he took me to Forks for my 30th birthday. So I definitely feel like that kind of found its way into the story too, like being able to walk through like the forest and stuff and being like, ooh, this is like magical. I want to be able to relive this over and over and over again. And so I definitely wrote that into my story so that when I'm reading it, I'm like a very like theatrical, like visionary. Like when I'm like writing, I need to like feel like it's a movie. And so like having those snippets like on my computer, being able to play our travel videos like on the TV while I'm writing, it definitely like helps set the stage.
That is so cool.
I feel like that helps.
That's so cool. So obviously like the world building is such a huge part for you and your stories. And I know like we've talked about this because we're working on your branding right now. But as far as like characterization, where does that kind of stuff come from you?
So unfortunately I fell into the like newbie author trap of like writing my first character like pretty much based off of like me and my personality. So like Lena's got a lot of me in her, unfortunately, which, you know, I mean, it's good and it's bad. But I know writing Lyra in Violent Waves, I would like, my daughter is in middle school, and so like hearing like a lot of like the mean girl energy that like she has to deal with, I'm like, ooh, tell me more. Like, hang on, where she said what now? Let me write this down. And so it was just a lot of like bits and pieces of like what I was hearing like from my kids or like from what my husband was telling me, where he gets to like interact with actual adults at his job, and just like a lot of it's like a lot of like bits and pieces and like obviously like what I read. And like the variety that I read helps a lot in like kind of molding an entire character and not it just being like a one-dimensional person on paper. So it was like a lot of different things that time around, which is why I felt not more connected to this story, but I feel like your first book, you're literally just like trying to pull the ideas out of your head. Whereas like the second book, I felt like I was way more like methodical with my planning, because I'm in between a plotter and a pantser. Like I have like a rough idea of where the story's going just so I know I hit my beats. But a lot of it is me just like sitting down and the characters like just talking in my head, which probably is another sign of mental illness. Let's be for real. But yeah, there was, I was seeing what was going on, not just where we're at, but just globally and just like the injustices. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool to write a female character who just like hates the entire world and wants to see it burn? Like, let's try that this time and see where it gets us. And so there's a much more an anger-driven approach in this story, I feel like.
Yeah. I love this book. When I say I stayed up till 5 a.m., I absolutely did. And I was like, I can't keep my eyes open. I'm dying. in the best way, obviously. So for book 2, is that something that like you're currently writing? Are you done? Like,
oh, so book 2 was the first time that I wrote like half the book and then deleted it. It was like, this is not going where I wanted it to go. And I like literally I was like, I was in the final edits for In Violent Waves. And then I'd already started writing book 2 and I was like halfway done and I was like, no. And so I deleted it and I started all the way over, which is something I had never done before. So yay for first. But this time, some characters I thought would go a certain way are not going that way. And it doesn't matter how much I'm like trying to force them to get back. They're doing their own thing. So I know where it's going partially, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised every time I sit down to write. So wow. That's been fun.
I hear that a lot from authors that like, no matter how much you want something to happen, your characters are going to tell you what they're going to do. Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, I think as a consumer and as a reader, you're like, but just don't make them do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my thing too. It's like when people would like complain about like whatever big new book was out and they're like, well, why didn't the author do this? And why did I'm like, now that I'm on that side, I'm like, bro, she can't control those characters any more than she's actually right. Like they're not like, you can't control the things in your own mind. I don't know how else to describe that. I know it sounds so weird because like I'm very much like an organized, like have like, okay, we're doing this and then we're doing that, and very like type A personality. But like when I'm writing, I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. I don't know what's going on. This is
hold
okay.
on for dear life.
Like essentially like one of my younger sons is like really into like writing songs now.
Okay.
And so he'll like come in and he's like, what's going on in your story? Like, what are you writing? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm writing. And he was like,
hello?
Do you not know? Like, Mom, I wrote down a lyric. Like, this is, what are you writing? I'm like, dude,
it's not.
I don't know. Do you want to come read it? Like, you can read this part. This part's appropriate. And you tell me what's going on. And he's like, yeah, I don't know those either. So it's just like, yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. We'll see where it goes. It's going to go somewhere. It might take a lot more fine tuning this time around, but yeah, it's been crazy this time actually.
That's so cool. So with you deleting that first full half,
yeah.
Do you feel like it has been easier to write now that you kind of let your characters flow through you?
Yeah. I feel like the reason the first like round got away from me is because I was sticking so hard to the plan.
Yeah.
And where I wanted the story to go, and that's, I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, that's not always going to be the case. And so this was a good test of like me actually letting go, which I don't do very well at all. So this was I feel like this was a character arc for me. Like, all right, like now we're learning something else about myself. I'm learning something new about my characters, and I'm learning that it doesn't have to go according to my exact plan. It'll be fine. I just need to like let it happen. And I'm not a just let it happen kind of person. So that was interesting. But my really good friend Jordan, she reads like all of my like.
We love Jordan.
Yeah, we love Jordan. She reads all of my like garbage, like not edited at all, like first copies of like each chapter. And honestly, it could be the point where I like write something just like atrocious and she'd be like, yes, it's good. But she's like, hey, I did not expect that, like at all. That was wild. Like, I need the next chapter. And I'm like, okay, well, you and me both, because I haven't had a second to write yet, so I don't know what's happening. She's like, no. Like, come bring me your kids. I need to know. So
that's
yay.
Awesome. Having a support system is like, no, I'll take the kids and go right.
Yeah, go right. And like, honestly, what's so wild is when I was writing Valkyrie Covenant, I was writing in between like nap times, and one of my younger sons was in baseball at the time, so I'm like writing at his practice and stuff. But when it came down to like final edits, and I was like trying to like just get it done because I stupidly set myself a deadline, and Jordan's like over with like all of her kids, like trying to handle the entire circus just so I could hammer out like the final edits. And I'm like, I love you so much, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. And then like my poor husband's like, hey, it's Saturday, like everyone wants lunch and like it's crazy and I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. I'm shutting your office doors. Don't worry about it. Like just get it done. And so I was like, I have the best support system. Thank you.
That is so, I think that's such an important thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just as a creative who wants to put out their creative arts in any realm.
Yeah.
Having that huge support system is just massive.
Oh, it's the, like, I can't even, like, put it into words, which is, like, stupid because, like, that's my job. But, like, like, it's just, it, like, makes everything, like, 1,000% easier just to know that, like, someone else thinks this is important enough to, like, give up their time so that you can get stuff done. Like, it's just, like, a new kind of love that I'm absolutely here for, so.
Sweet. I love that. So with both of us living in Texas, we're kind of surrounded by a lot of really cool bookstores.
Yes.
And I know you've worked with a lot of them.
A lot as in two, but yeah.
a lot of them. But like, how has being in this space, because, you know, we live here, I don't necessarily know what it's like in other states, but how has being in this space been super impactful for you with promoting your books and all that?
It's literally, like, set the stage. Like, I don't know how else I would have been able to, like, get all this done had it not been for, like, the indie bookstores, like, being like, hey, come to us. Like, let's get you on the shelf. And, like, I remember the first, like, book people that I, like, talked to about my book or, like, getting my book on their shelves was Plot Twist in Denton. And I went for one of their author writing times, and there were, like, seasoned authors who, like, had their lives together that were there. Shout out Amy Vance. Oh my gosh. She, like, changed my life. She was like, no, come here. This is what you need. Like, this is who you need to talk to. This is what you need for your tables. This is how you set your, like, literally, cool. Like, having that, like, just such a giving, supportive, like, oh, it was amazing. And so I ended up talking to Loki at Denton, and she was like, yeah, let's get your books on the shelves. Like, here's my email. Do this. And it was like, I remember being so nervous talking to her. I was just like, I wrote this book, and I, like, pulled my book out of my bag, and I was like, would you like it? Please. And her being like, oh, I love this cover, and me being able to be like, I made that too. I wrote the words and I made the cover. I did. And just people, like, actually being excited for something that, like, I literally thought no one would see the light of day, was just amazing. And then following Kate on the Folklore Grove in Arlington, and just her, I feel so connected to her journey because she was like, I have this dream, I'm going to do this thing. And that was, like, the same for my books. I was like, well, I have this dream of not being anxious and writing a book, and then just having everyone, like, literally hands on my back, just, like, pushing me, like, let's do it, let's go, let's do it. And so just being able to, like, meet other people and being so connected to readers who are like, hey, I just pulled your book off this shelf, I didn't know you were local, that's so cool. And then, like, it's just, it feels like one big happy family. Yeah. Like, and that's so weird to say, because I know, like, on the internet, like, you get some trolls. You get some mean people.
Of course.
But, like, in real life, everyone's been so nice. I'm like, yay, thanks.
I think that's been the coolest thing about the bookish space for me is, like, in real life, bookish people are amazing. But, like, in everyday life, like, high school people and whatever, you don't necessarily know how people are going to perceive the things that you put out or how supportive they're going to be just in everyday life, because that's just how the world is. But being in the bookish space, it's like night and day for, no, we're going to support you just because we see you and we want you to be successful. And it just, it fills me up so much knowing that even those, you said, like, these successful authors, this baby author, and you're like, nope, I got you, here you go.
Like, no, like, we want to help. And, like, coming from a very different kind of career where it's like, no, there are not enough seats at the table. Like, you need to pay your dues, to this whole new world where it's like, no, we can just keep building our table. Like, we got room for everybody. There are readers for everybody. And just, like, I'm a competitive person, like, naturally, but them not being, like, other authors aren't my competition. Like, they're my colleagues. Like, we all uplift each other was, like, such an eye-opening experience. Or, like, no, like, I root for you. Like, I root for you, I root for you. We all root for each other. This is how it is here. And that's been, like, healing in a way. Like, honestly, like, it's been really nice. So.
Yeah, that's so big. I mean, even, like, I had a marketing job before this, and there were 4 people in the office, and my boss used to compete with me. Yeah. And it's like, we're on the same team. Like,
we work for the same company.
Literally your company. Why are you competing with me? Yeah. But like getting into a space like this
Yeah.
where it's like, no, it's not a competition that
Yeah.
everybody can eat, everybody can be here.
Yeah.
I know, like I started dev editing recently, and I
Yeah.
have friends who have done this for a while, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me know if you need any help. I'm like, I couldn't do that in any other industry.
No.
Because it is a dog eat dog world.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's very individualistic where
Yeah.
we live. And
Yeah.
what you're doing for yourself, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
it.
I definitely it felt like that in like other spaces. Like even working on like a quote unquote team, it was very much like, oh well, these are my numbers. These are mine. Like, and it's the only thing remotely close to that on this side is like just comparison being the thief of joy, and like seeing like people's like careers take off, and you're like, he sold 5 books this month. But still, it's like a couple months ago, like 5 books, like I would have been like, oh my gosh, yes. But it's like not feeling like you're doing enough, but still doing enough. But also like seeing them, like their career take off and still being excited for them and being like, yeah, like, I mean, I wish it was me, but like, I'm so glad it's them. Like they so deserve that. And so it's one of those like, I still feel like I'm healing in like the numbers game and like not being able to compare, but like still being like so excited for everyone I see. Like, you know, like Gretchen. Like, oh my, I don't think I have cheered so much for someone I've never even like met like face to face, and just be like, I have her book on my shelf. Like we had her book at the same place. Like I'm like, I love her so much. Like it's like one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's so big, and I think it's really important to understand that you're always going to have those comparison thoughts. Like it's a natural occurrence as a human to look at what you're doing and then compare it to other people.
Oh, for sure.
It's how we grew up, you know? Like it's test scores you were putting up against. Like in PE, like how fast was your mile? It was faster than whatever. It's like our entire life has been, how much better are you than the next person? And so I think there's a lot of like relearning and healing that goes with this, especially when it's a creative thing. Because so many of my friends are like, here's a piece of my soul, rate it 1 to 5. Lena, I think, says that. But and I think it's so huge to acknowledge the fact that like, you're going to have bad months. Everybody has a bad month. But celebrating that like think about 5 people sitting in a room reading your book. Right. Like that's huge. Huge. Absolutely huge. And making sure that you celebrate those small things, because you don't know what's going to happen in 3 months. Right? Like I think that's always just really important to recognize. Like I was talking to somebody the other day of just, it might not happen yet, you know? Like
it's always a yet. I always tell it, it's just not yet. It's just not yet. And it's one of those things too where like, I also find myself like, I'm still like I haven't even hit year 1, or I just hit year 1 like a week ago of being like, this is my first year. I'm comparing my first year to people's like 10th and 12th and 15 years. And I was like, that's dumb. You need to stop, put the brakes on. And so when I find myself doing that where I'm like, should I this is wild that I'm starting over in my 30s. Like, what are you doing? I like hit the brakes and I literally go look for someone to cheer on. Like, okay, I'm making this all about me. This was not the point of this. Like, go cheer someone else on. Like, get out of your head. And so that's been like my mantra.
I always like to remind people like Gretchen's been writing for over 10 years. Like her first book came out like over 10 years ago. And so it's like, she's hitting these successes, but remember like her 10,000 hours, like she's
way past due.
Right.
Way past due.
Right. And so like it's hard when you're on Instagram and all you're seeing is like, oh, I saw a book release and then I saw this really cool thing. And it's like, but let's think about all the things you didn't see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the behind the scenes. And I think that like, I mean, people only post their wins on social media. So all I'm seeing is everybody else's wins, and I might be in a day of like my losses, but like that's not the story.
Exactly.
And no one's gonna post their like, hey, no one showed up to my book signing. Like, sad face. Like, like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
So
just recognizing those small wins are just as important to yell about.
Yep.
Okay, so have you always been a reader, or is this something that's like new for you?
So I've always been a reader. Ironically enough, back in the day, when a certain series that isn't very talkable right now came out, my grandmother picked them up and was like, you need to read. And my mom was like, she cannot read. This is witchcraft.
Got it.
So that's like what kind of started like everyone my age.
Right.
And then
I also wasn't allowed to read it, so I totally get it.
It's witchcraft. And my grandmother was like, no harm can be from reading books. She needs to read them. So she bought them for me, which was awesome. And then I wasn't into reading for like a little bit after that because like nothing came close to that. And then when Twilight got really big, I was in high school and I was like in sports and like reading wasn't like cool. And I remember all the girls like carrying their like Twilight books around and like passing them around, and they had like annotations and notes, and I remember being so jealous like of that. I was like, oh. But I didn't get into Twilight until my other grandma.
Shout out to the grandmas.
She was really big into the first movie had just come out.
Okay.
And she's like, have you seen this? And I was like, no. She's like, you need to watch this. I watched it, got immediately obsessed, immediately like dove off the deep end, had all the books. I would read, like I would finish a book and then immediately pick up the next one. And it just like I was just constantly rereading the same series. And then it wasn't until I was married to my husband now, Justin, and he was like, he's a really big gamer, like WoW, Destiny, like all this stuff. And I was like, I want something to do. So honestly, I dabbled in like video games, and I was like, I like to hold something. So I started reading again. I got really into A Discovery of Witches, which and turned into a TV show. And then I got really into ACOTAR. And that kind of like exploded everything for me. Then I was reading Cool Prince and From Blood and Ash. And so I feel like I had the stereotypical, like, it's COVID, we're into reading. It was like that. But like my roots were, you know, way back in the day. And then I remember when like COVID was like dying off and like we were allowed to go back out to the stores, I had seen I Spin at Barbarians all over my TikTok. So much so that I like sent it to my husband. And we're at Target, we're with the kids, and we're walking by the book section, and he sees one of the books, and he like grabs it. He was like, here's this book that you wanted to read, like really loud. Everyone started looking, and I know what the book is about.
Right.
I did not explain to him what the book was about. And it's like akin to like, when you're like newly a woman and you like hide tampons in the store. It was like that. And he's like walking around with the book, and I'm like, stop. And I like was like trying to, I'm like, don't. Ironically enough, that scene was in my head when I wrote In Violent Waves, and she's reading a very spicy book, and
God.
he grabs the book, and she's like, no. It was those feelings like all over again.
That is so good.
So it was just, I remember being just like
mortified,
just beet red, like, oh my gosh. And then of course like it wasn't just that book, there was like a couple of them. And so he's like got all the books, and he's just like so proud that he found the book that I had said I wanted. Like it was like one of those like sweet like husband moments, but I'm just like,
stop.
People are gonna know what I read. Stop. That's not a book you buy, that's a book you hide on your Kindle. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So my reading journey is like a bit of the same, but with a lot more mortification.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I also started with that original series.
Yeah.
And then I didn't read another book for like a year or two because I was like, there's nothing that can come close to this.
Yeah.
And then high school ruined all reading for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you have to read this. And I was like, I hate you. Get away from me.
Yeah.
And then I've always read AO3 and like fan fiction and stuff.
Yes.
So I started like reading those again, and I was like, let me try a book. Let me try just like an actual book. And then it's been 2 years or a year and a half, and 2 years now, I think. And it is my entire personality.
Yes. I'm so much the same.
It hasn't stopped. But fun fact, I have never read or watched any of the Twilight.
I know. I need to break you of that. Like, I need you to know the level of cringe that I, like, when I think about it now, like, I was like in my early 20s. I could not go anywhere without one of those books in my hands.
Really?
And like, even to this day, like, so, My daughter's a teenager now, and I'm like, we have to watch all the movies. Because I remember, like, I had a DVD player, and I would watch the soundtrack is, like, so lovely. So I would, like, fall asleep to it, like, every single night.
Yeah.
So, like, now my husband can tell when I'm, like high-level stress. Like, I'm, like, system shutting down because I'll just put the movie on and just, like... And like, my, one of my younger sons, he was like, well, why does she get to watch it? I want to watch it. And I was like... this isn't, I don't think you're going to like this. Like, this isn't, like, he's like, but it's vampires. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you watch it.
You tell me if
He
this is...
loved it.
No.
I loved it. He loves it so much.
Oh my gosh, I love.
So I'll put it on, and I'm thinking, like, I'm going to have, like, this sweet, like, mother-daughter moment. And no, it's my son. He's like, got the popcorn. Like,
He's
all right.
ready.
And I, like, jokingly were like, are you, like, Team Edward or Team Jacob? And he was like, oh, Team Jacob. And I'm like, ew, get out of my head. He was like, wait, what? And I was like, you weren't there, like, on ground zero. Like, you don't understand how,
You
like,
said get out of my
like,
house.
divisive that phrase is. Like, no, like, no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
it's like...
Do you know the reason why I never did? This is...
Yes, I read the thing. Because you wanted to be able to tell Robert Pattinson you never saw him from that. Which, honestly, the good thing is so smart.
Okay,
Like,
I will explain. So, this is so stupid.
it's not. It is genius. It is,
When-
like, I couldn't fathom being this smart. I'm jealous. I did not think of it.
So when I was 12, I saw a Tumblr post, and I think it was some kind of article that was basically saying that Robert Pattinson was at a premiere of some kind. I don't even think it was Twilight. But he was walking, and everybody was yelling, like, Edward. And one single person yelled Cedric from his other role. And in my head, I was like, well, clearly, if and when I meet him, he's going to fall in love with me. So I need to always keep the lore that I've never even read or watched Twilight, because clearly he doesn't like it. And so I'm going to be the one person he meets that doesn't know any of it and be like, yeah, I've never even read it or seen it. And it just never, I was like, I can't give this up. And then it's been too long. And
No, you gotta watch it.
everybody's like, you're an adult, you're just gonna see it and it's gonna be cringy. Which, like, fair. But I feel like at some point I do need to consume this.
You do.
But yeah.
I feel like you're missing, like, it's like, it's such a, like, millennial this is our Jane Austen. Like, this is our piece of literature. Like, everyone knows this. And the fact that these are, like, they need to be, you need to, and, like, with a 20-year, like, this is, like, you need this in your life. So that way, when we're hanging out, and I am like, hold on tight, spider monkey, you know what I'm talking about. Exactly. See, you don't know.
Not even
we're like, Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca?
Okay, I do know that.
So I just, like, need you to, it's like, you're just not going to get the quotes, and I need you to get the quotes.
I'm literally, there's not a single, I do know that one because I'm chronically online.
It's
so.
just, like, it's key vibes. It's just, like, it's the appropriate
I just
cringe
found out
you
what
need.
Hoa season
It's
is.
Hoa season!
I literally just
And we
found out.
don't get that. And, like,
No.
you're friends with someone who went to Forks for their 30th birthday. I need you to be on this level of cringe. Like, I took a picture next to the truck. I went to the freaking...
What truck?
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking.
It's just like, it's
This
peak
is a
cringe.
different language, like you were
It's
speaking.
a language. It's a book language. So we gotta diversify. You gotta read the cringe. Because I feel like you skipped. It's like the teenage girls now who are not wearing, like, the caked on makeup and the blue eyeshadow.
Yes.
You skipped it. You went to
I
the
did.
really pretty phase, and that is not fair.
I skipped it completely. I was like, nah, only pretty books.
No. I feel.
Man.
I mean, no. I wouldn't want to skip the step. Like, it's. You need it. I should have brought it. You would have been like, I'm gifted. She has it. She has no excuse. Like, I can't even tell you how, like, worn and old my copy is. Like, it's like, it is.
So you've read them like multiple times?
Multiple times.
Oh my god.
And well into my adulthood where it was like time to put it away. Like, this is, it's like a security blanket at this point.
Oh
like,
my
you know? And then like when I like first got into writing, I was like writing some stuff that was like insanely cringe. Like, just like, and I can't even like think, but just think like she nodded her head. What the fuck else is she going to nod? Like that kind of like, you know, like you don't really think about it unless like you're reading. And I was telling someone and they're like, Stephanie Meyer wrote like some of like the cringiest stuff ever. And she is like well freaking known. But I'm like, yeah, but like also my first time, you know, like we're not comparing apples to oranges, but it's like people will like trash on that like so much, and it's like, okay, well, she obviously did something right. She has a movie deal. Like, okay,
she changed
chill,
a generation.
chill. Like, exactly. Like, I don't think I'd go a day without like quoting her in my head. Like, this,
oh my god,
it's like her and like Practical Magic. Like, it's just like,
I also have never seen that.
Oh my gosh, no. Okay, we're gonna have a movie night because you absolutely like that. That's not even cringe. That is like, I take back my earlier Jane Austen. Like that is like
really?
That is. Oh, I love it so. It's why I have bangs right now, and you wouldn't even know because you haven't watched the movie. I read the book. Like that's how much I love it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very uncultured.
You uncultured swine. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I am. I really am. Like, I'll get at, like, pop culture.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so out of the know with anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bad. But...
I feel like you're way more online and, like, with it than
okay,
I am. Like,
I'm online, but
I'm
niche online.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I've been online since, like, I was, like, 11. But every time that I've like had an account that's like got success or whatever, it's been a very niche, very tiny part of the internet. And so like when I was a kid, I followed these like dancers on like World of Dance. It was like a show.
All right.
And for whatever reason, because I never left the internet, these dancers and I ended up like interacting on Twitter a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so people thought that I was friends with them, and so I got like clout because of how we interacted.
This is like how you're like people's book daughters.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I get it.
I have been building this. Like
this, I built this FYP brick by brick.
So like, to give you any perspective, I went to like an in-person World of Dance one time, and two of the dancers from that dance crew, like, I didn't really show my face much, but I like walked in and I was like in the line, I was like, hi, like, I don't know if you recognize me, but my @name is, and I can't say it because it is my real name, but it was this very specific @name, and both of them freaked out, and were like, oh my god, you've been here since the beginning.
I love it so much.
Yes, absolutely lost their mind. And so like that is like what I did when I was 11. Yeah. And then I was in like photography, Instagram, like all of these very like niche things.
You're just so cool. I'm so not. I'm just like
I just have never left the internet. Like it's ridiculous. So like within the bookish space, any drama, anything that's going on, I could tell you, I could give you a whole dissertation.
And this is why, like, when people, like, message me things, or, like, when I get, like, a certain, like, reach out, I, like, send it to you, and I'm like, are they being mean? I don't understand. Like, I don't know.
Give me the context,
because I was, like, the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I wasn't allowed to have an email address.
Really?
My parents were like, they're gonna find you. And I'm like... So, like, when I had to have, like, a school... I remember I had to get an email address for, like, my college stuff. And, like, my parents were, like... very upset that I had to. I was just like
college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was like it was a whole thing. But I wasn't.
Gosh. I've
been very chronically offline for like most of my life.
I've had an email since I was 8, but I moved around a lot. So like I left friends, and so like we would communicate through email and like AIM and all of that.
I grew up in the same freaking spot. I didn't leave that hometown until I got married way too young, and then left for California. But then, like, still kept like I didn't. I met like 2 new people when I like lived in California, and it was only because they were also other military wives. But like I did not know how to like make friends, like because I grew up with like the same like 30 people,
Right?
And like even to this day, like I'll see them, like I'll be scrolling, and I'm like, I've known them since we were like in pre-K. Like it's just like, and what's weird is like my husband like doesn't know anybody ever because he like 12 different schools and 12 different years, and like he was like, and so it's like we're exact opposite. So like having to build like my bookish space, it wasn't until I was like in like my friends from like when I was growing, they don't read. Like that was not our thing. Like we were very much playing softball and volleyball. Like we like and so but like now like I'm making like older friends, my adult friends, and it's like everybody reads, and so that's been like a different thing too, because like I would like secretly read because that wasn't cool. So yeah, but like no, like I've been like chronically offline.
Wow.
So the whole like internet.
That's so crazy. So like I moved around like a lot as a kid. Yeah. Not 12 and 12, but I went to like 5 different elementary schools in 3 different states. Oh my gosh. So like I've never had like long-term friendships, but then my husband, literally we live in the city that he grew up. So like he knows the same people, like his groomsmen. Yeah. His bachelor party. His groomsmen are all people like he's known since like middle school. Yeah. And me, I'm like, well, I met that one like 2 years ago. And like, yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Because I literally I moved around so much. But my whole life I've made friends online. Yeah. So my like comfort space is meeting people on the internet. Yeah. Which my gosh. So
you and my husband are the same. Me and your husband are the same. Because my husband's like one of his very best friends. He's never met in real life. They game online. They met playing Xbox like however many years ago. And like my like longest friend, I like went to kindergarten with her. It was like one of those things. But like weirdly enough now, like my like closest friends are like my husband's ex-wife's family. It's like my family. So it's like, all right, we're just gonna smooch on in here. Hello. Like,
hi, hello, here I am.
That's how we are now. So yeah.
That's funny. Really funny. Yeah, I truly like I don't make friends better than online. Yeah. Like my closest friends, obviously, like my closest friends are people that I 100% met online. And if the internet, if I didn't exist in that niche space, I would have no friends. Yeah. Like it is.
No, that's not true. I would have found you. I would have found you. We live close enough. I would have like found you. I would have seen you with a book and been like, oh, another book girl in North Texas. What are you reading? Like, what kind of friend are you? Like,
mine are literally like the internet or like my husband's friends' wives. Yes. Like that's it. Those are my people.
Same.
You get the vibes. You really do.
We have the same vibes.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Well, it's been so much fun talking with you.
It has been a blast.
Yay! Do you want to do our Goblin's favorites?
Yes.
And now it's time for Goblin's favorites of the episode.
All right, we're gonna get started with our Goblin's favorites. I'll have you go first.
Okay, so I recently, and when I mean recently, like I finished it on my way over here, finished Sarah Hawley's Servants of Earth. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you talked about my world building. Hers is like, I was there. Like she dropped me into the Underhill where this takes place. It's called Miss Day. But basically it's about Kenna, our girl Kenna. She is trying to save her friend. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. She ends up in Miss Day and is part of these like deadly Fae trials. And I already know what you're thinking. You're like, great trials. Like, no, these are amazing. And like the way she sets them up and like Kenna being in them and like Kenna's help, like I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like the whole time, like it's one of those things where you're like reading it and you're like, ooh, I would have, yes. It was like that the entire time. And it's like, it's mainly fantasy and there's like a little bit of romance, but the romance is like it's making my toes curl because I'm like, okay, yeah, just do, yeah. So it's like, it's just the right amount. And then I was creeping because I like to know like the author and stuff. And she's like a certifiable genius, like girl's an archaeologist. And so when we're talking about me like exploring the world and like she's like exploring the world and putting that into her books, and I could not eat it up fast enough.
That's
so
cool.
My book, In Violent Waves, released September 30th. The second book for this released on September 30th, and I almost was more excited for that than I released my book because I was so excited with how it ended and just like all of the characters, like not just our FMC, but like just I don't want to spoil it,
right?
But like, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Is it a series?
So I think it's gonna be a series. Right now, there's just the 2 out. So it's Servant of Earth, and then the second one, it was called Princess of Blood.
Okay.
Also, the covers, they're stunning.
Stunning.
Oh my gosh, it gave me the same feeling when I saw Gretchen's cover for the first time. I was like, oh, I need this on my shelf so bad. It's so pretty. It was like that. So it was just cool. Like it's just, and like it gives me a little bit of like Hawley Black, like. Cruel Prince vibes, just like the fairy tale like folk, like it's just like not gritty, but like it's just like, oh, you just want to like wrap it around yourself. It's like velvet, like it's delicious, immaculate vibes the whole way through.
What a good rec. I love that. Is so good. Oh my gosh, that makes me want to pick it up like immediately.
So good.
So good. Okay, so my rec is All Superheroes Need PR by Elizabeth Stevens.
Ooh.
This is actually my second Elizabeth Stevens book that I'm recking on the podcast, so like huge fan of her. This book, so I mentioned to you, like I've been reading so many like series and just amazing world building, like book 1 in a 5-book series. Yeah. And I was like, I need like an interconnected standalone or a standalone with a happily ever after because like I need some happiness because
I need a little joy. You guys are sucking the life out of me.
All of my friends, like my author friends, are like, we need you to read our book because we need your reactions. And I'm like, you guys are all breaking my heart. Like, this is not...
I am dehydrated from crying. You guys gotta stop.
I'm so stressed. I'm in the middle of like 16 series. Like, my gosh. I'm stressed. Everybody wants to leave me on a cliffhanger, which like, I love cliffhangers, but like, I'm so stressed. Please.
So, you literally posted, I love cliffhangers, and we're all like, we're gonna push you off. There you go.
I know. I'm like, fine, I'm sorry I said it.
Can't believe you wish for.
Literally. But I wanted like a happily ever after, like interconnected or standalone. And I have been wanting to read this book for forever. Yeah. I actually ask for it in every single bookstore I go to and have yet to get it physically.
What?
Yeah, I cannot find it. Obviously I can order it, but like I like picking it up, you know?
I feel that. I feel that.
But I read it on Kindle, which super cool. It has audio attached to the Kindle file.
Whoa, that's cool.
So like you can prop up your phone and it'll like highlight and read you the book as the text, like as they're reading it.
I love that.
It was so cool. I've seen other books do it, but I hadn't like used it until this one.
I didn't figure out how they do that.
And I was like, this is so cool. Yeah.
I love that. That's like when I'm listening to like, I'll be like on Audible and I'm like, oh, I wish this had subtitles.
Like, girl, that's a book.
Wait a minute, that's a book. So that's actually really awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was really cool because it was like, I propped my phone up and I was like eating so I could like not look at the phone, but then look back at the phone, you know, like, or my Kindle. I was using my phone, but I do have a Kindle. Anyways, this book was incredible. It's so witty. It's so funny. I was literally like giggling like
kicking your feet.
Yes.
Oh, I love
kicking
that.
my feet, giggling. I I posted this on Threads, but I was like, I'm literally crashing over a 3-letter word, which was sit. And I'm not going to give you context of it.
My brain's sitting already.
Yep,
I'm loving it. Okay.
That's all you need to
All right.
know. But I was like giggling, kicking my feet like the whole time. And it's just like truly such a fun time.
Okay.
It's incredibly diverse cast, which is super cool. And it's about superheroes, which I guess I haven't read a lot of
You really, yeah.
I feel like it's a really
I'm thinking
creative-
Avengers or the new
Right.
Superman, which was a vibe, but yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard really good things.
He's so yummy. Yeah.
I love how much he loves the character. I've seen so many behind the scenes of him getting really into it, and he's like, no, I think you would react this way.
I love it when they go so hard, so nerdy for their characters.
Yeah.
It makes you more excited about it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Every time. But yeah, I'm not used to reading, obviously I've read a million fantasies and contemporaries and every genre in between,
Yeah.
but I haven't read a superhero.
That's actually super freaking cool.
Yes, and it was so fun, and there's a villain collective and a superhero or a champion collective.
Oh, I
and
love it.
It is truly so much fun. But the main character, she is basically the president of a marketing firm,
Mm-hmm.
and she's trying to represent one of the people that was a villain, and they're trying to
Switch
basically pay him enough that he'll be on the champion
Oh,
side,
okay.
right? So there's a lot of political capital kind of
Makes
or
sense.
capitalistic
it's giving the Boys Meets Megamind.
literally I could not have described it better. Yes, absolutely yes.
I love that.
It is such a blast. And yeah, there's a lot of chaos, but in such a good way. And yeah, I don't want to say anything else because I really enjoyed learning as I went.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great time.
I'm gonna pick that up.
Yes.
I need that little snippet
And-
of joy. I'm gonna take
Yes,
that.
and it's an interconnected standalone, so
Okay.
there is a book 2.
Yeah.
And
But
that
it
one
doesn't end on a cliffhanger.
no,
Okay.
no, does not literally.
Okay.
It ends correctly.
Correct.
It ends correctly.
It ends correctly. Okay. Rude.
It ends correctly, not some people who want to give me a fucking cliffhanger. Anyways, but no, it ends perfect, happily ever after, and then there's an epilogue that's a lot of fun.
Oh,
So,
I love that.
yeah.
I remember when I was writing, and I was like, do people like prologues and epilogues? Is this something? And I was like, you know what? I don't care if you like it. I'm going to write it. I forget that I get to do what I want.
You do get to do what you want. I think that's such a fun thing about being an indie author.
Yeah.
Is making those decisions exactly the way that you want them.
Yes and no. Because,
Fair.
I freak out when there's too many choices.
Mm.
And I'll just, okay, that's good enough. I just when it probably needed a little bit more thought, a little bit more, because I like to think that I'm dropping these little Easter eggs and people are gonna, no one freaking cares. But I need to be more intentional and too many choices.
Fair.
Which is why I hire you for things. And I'm these are what I like. No,
Tell
do it. No, do it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, I would love to take this time to give you space to shout out what you're working on, shout out where people can find you, all that good stuff.
Ooh, okay. So I'm on TikTok and Instagram, obviously. What I'm working on now is the second book for In Violent Waves, and I am actually getting ready to post little teasers of the title of book 2.
Yay!
So that's fun. And then I apparently have just lost my mind and have really gotten into the Hoa vibes.
Look
So
at you go.
I'm kind of on my side quest right now. It's Practical Magic, which obviously we talked about being my favorites, meets A Discovery of Witches.
Cute.
So she's fixing up a general store, and she kind of finds out a lot of information, and the main grumpy carpenter guy turns out to be a vampire. And I wanted it a cutesy little standalone that
Beautiful.
ends correctly.
That ends correctly.
For next fall, because there's no way I'm finishing this off. I say that I like was like, oh, I have these good ideas, and I'm gonna, I was like plotting so hard on book 2. I almost just ruined the title. I was plotting so hard that I just like, I wasn't allowing myself like time to just like be creative, because I was like, okay, I need to like do these like fill-in chapters. Yeah. And then this idea came to my mind when I was like literally driving our youngest in the car to get him to sleep, and I was listening to Swan Lake, because that's like my faves. And I just watched Practical Magic, and I was at a red light, scrolling IG Reels, and saw this girl like fixing up a general store, and it was like all of that just kind of like sucker punched me, and I'm like, I have an idea. And then as soon as he fell asleep, I hit the roundabout, went back, laid him down, pulled out my laptop, and like busted out like 6,500 words.
Oh my god!
So I was like, this is practically writing itself, and it's just been like fun, because it's so like fun. It's like set in modern times. It's set in North Carolina. It's like set in a place like I've been to. So I'm not having to do like crazy like world building like I do with my fantasy. Like it's very much like, here it is. And so that was like something completely fun and different. And so I was like, that's fun. I'm gonna do this. And so I was busting that out, and then big secret for In Violent Waves that I'm going to tell everyone on your podcast.
What?
But I booked a narrator. So In Violent Waves is coming to Audible. We start recording, I think we set it for May or June. I cannot remember, to be honest. But the Audible for that is going to release right before book 2. So for people who are like, it's been a minute since I read book 1, they'll get to listen to it and then immediately jump into book 2. So
this is so exciting!
Super excited for that. And then I already kind of spilled the beans because I'm the most impatient person. But Valkyrie Covenant Duology is getting a makeover.
Oh my goodness!
So I'm in the process of getting brand new covers for that. And Laura has taken on the ginormous task of editing the crap out of both of those. So shout out Laura for saving me. I cannot believe I've sold as many copies that I have. I'm so sorry, you guys. So sorry. So all that's getting redone.
Wow.
And then of course you're working on something super cool for me. So I'm also getting a rebranding. So I'm way looking forward to that. So
wow.
I feel like
you
it's
have
just
so
like,
much coming up.
So much coming up. And then I think after I finish off the title type trilogy, I'm gonna jump back into the world of Lena and Lachlan, and I have some novellas planned for people's favorite characters. So I'm gonna have a few novellas come out. I'm gonna try and time them correctly. We're like, if it comes out around Christmas, it'll be like a little Yule thing for like Mina. But I do think the first book that I have planned is going to be like the prequel to it all. So it's gonna be Lena's parents' love story.
Oh my gosh, that is
I've already got it like
exciting.
mainly plotted out. Like I have all the key points, and so I've like mental illness, but like I hear my characters and I'll be like trying to go about my day and I'm like,
hello?
Some dialogue. Hang on. And I had to like write it down. Like my notes app is like certifiable insane. Like it's like random snippets of like, oh, like this hair color or like this phrase, or like I'll just like I'm nosy, so like I don't have like my AirPods in or anything like when I'm walking out in the world, and I'll like listen to people and like, people watch, and so just like a certain movement or like a mannerism, I'm like I'm sure people think I'm a creep, or like overhearing like so cool. Just like a certain like inflection or just like a phrase, I'm like, oh, everything is like mine, and I will take it and use it for a book.
Everything is mine.
Everything's mine. That's so Leo of me to say, but I'm like, I'm writing you all into my book. You have no idea.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I'm so excited for you. That's so many cool things coming up. Yay!
Yay!
What a good way to close out the episode. This is so good.
I was like, I forgot I have all these things that I'm supposed to be telling you about. I think you like led right into it. I was like, oh, you are professional.
This is what I do. Oh my gosh, it has been amazing having you here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was my first podcast. This was so fun.
I'm so glad you were here. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Hey Hey Goops, we are officially launching new ways that you can support the show. If you're in the bookish space and you have a product or service that you want talked about on the podcast, visit the website below and you can see all of the options that we have. Our show is growing so fast and we would love for you to be a part of it.